Welcome back to the Roast It Yourself podcast, brought to you by Coffee Bean Corral and Current Crop Roasting Shop. I'm Stephen Burnett with Coffee Bean Corral in Jackson, Mississippi, and with me is Catherine Mansell, digitally with me, certified Q grader and director of Current Crop Roasting Shop in New Orleans, Louisiana. How are you today, Catherine?
Today's going well, smooth and easy. I like it.
There we go. Yeah. Okay, good day. We like that. It's been a whirlwind in Jackson. We're running a pretty big sale that I think is irrelevant now because this is in the future. So you guys already saved your money on the coffee, so I hope you enjoyed it. But it's been pretty busy today. So, we've every week we set aside 10 minutes to field questions from home roasters and professional roasters alike about roasting, tasting, and most importantly, enjoying coffee. You can send your questions as you get them to questions at RIYpod.com. That's questions at RIYpod.com to get a nice shout out from us and get your question answered, which is the whole point. Last week we fielded a question from Robert from South Carolina, and at the time I mentioned that Robert actually had two separate questions in his one email. We only tackled the first question last week, and we promised we would come back and address the second question this week, which is what we're going to do. In the meantime, we also got an email from someone else that actually complements Robert's question very well. So we're going to tackle both those questions today. And that second question is from Joe from West Virginia, avid listener and a friend of Coffee Bean Corral. So Joe's question is shorter, so I'll read it first. When roasting Robusta coffee, what is a good roasting time for the Fresh Roast SR 540? So that's Joe from West Virginia's question. That's a good question, and now let's listen to Robert's, and then we'll answer them both. Robert's second question was, with the fresh roast, I have been standing over it and adjusting the temperature and the fan speed as it goes, usually for 18 minutes, followed by cool down. So I start it at 8 for the temperature, 8 setting, and 8 for the fan, and then turn the temp and the fan speed down after first crack. So I guess he's 8 and 8, and then after first crack he bumps them down, usually aiming to get the beans just south of second crack, or just a second crack before stopping. Depending on the type of bean, the adjustments take over 18 minutes and may be very different to achieve the same medium dark roast. Is that normal? Should I find a setting for each different bean that doesn't have to be adjusted and change so much over the roast? Not that I'm complaining. I kind of like the craft, watching the color turn and listening for the crack and then adjusting to achieve the great roast. That way it feels like a hobby and not just like a production. I totally feel that, Robert. Any tips are appreciated. Thanks, Robert in South Carolina. So to recap, Robert uses a fresh roast and maintains his initial settings, power 8, fan 8, throughout the entire roast. If you haven't used a fresh roast, there's settings 1 through 9 for both the fan and the heating element, the power. So he's keeping his both high for the entire roast until first crack, and then after first crack he adjusts those settings down, and the roast take around 18 minutes. Catherine, any thoughts on that?
Yes, 18 minutes is quite a long roast for a fresh roast. Even if I'm going to a French roast, it's still going to take me only about 9.5, maybe 10 minutes is the longest. So what you have to remember is if you leave your settings at fan 8 and power 8, there's no agitation that's happening with the bean. So as you roast, there are compounds on the inside of the bean that break down at different temperatures and different stages of the roast. But if you continue to roast without making any of those adjustments, none of that happens on the inside of the bean, so you miss out on what the coffee could actually taste like. The beans have to be agitated by the fan and the temperature changing to achieve the full potential of the coffee. We have a guide here at Current Crop that we came up with at Coffee Bean Corral together, and it really gives you a chance to not have to change as many times because we're using an extension tube. If you don't have an extension tube on a fresh roast, you can definitely still roast, but you're still going to be lowering the fan and increasing the power to hit your target temperature. What you're doing, leaving it at 8 and 8, is essentially baking the beans. So if you're getting to second crack, you're still going to get that roastiness, but you're going to miss out on what that specific origin or country has to offer.
Yeah, and that's something even home roasting supplies will on their website they get the complaint from people that don't lower the fan speed. Oh my goodness, it's not getting hot enough to roast coffee.
Right.
And the way that roaster is designed, you have to lower the fan to even get to those temperatures. So honestly, I'm surprised you're hitting first crack, keeping the fan that high, because I don't know how you're getting enough heat into the beans to make it happen. If you lower the fan throughout the roast, and we can talk about a recipe in a second, but if you lower the fan throughout the roast, you'll drive the temperature up in the chamber and you'll achieve that first crack much faster. And like Catherine said, 18 minutes, you should be able to cut that down, potentially by almost a third, right? Or down to a third almost. It's a very long roast.
Yeah.
And when we talk about baking coffee, I like cake. It's supposed to be baked. Coffee is supposed to roast, and the time element is really the main difference there. When you bake coffee, you really do flatten out the flavor, and if you bake it, and this is what I'm just repeating what Catherine said because she's already covered it. But when you go too long, you wind up just getting the roasty, dark, flavors, and none of the other stuff. And so at that point, you can get that kind of coffee anywhere. So I think you'll see a huge improvement if you lower that fan throughout the roast. And we'll talk about a recipe in a second. Now, Robert and Joe both wanted to know about finding a different profile for each coffee versus finding a specific basic profile you use kind of for everything.
Sure.
And I roast a lot of coffees, a lot of different coffees, because I do quality control. So I may have to roast a Tanzania pea berry and a Bali Blue, and a honey from Mexico. I do all these different things in one day, and so it's funny, I don't have time to develop a specific profile for every single coffee. So what we've done, and what we've done through experience, is roast something or come up with a profile that we can basically hit a nice medium roast on just about everything. Some are going to do better, some are going to do worse, but we're going to ballpark them all so that we can compare them and taste them and all that kind of stuff. And I use the fresh roast more than anything else. So, Joe, to answer your question about Robusta, I think as long as you're hitting your first crack for any coffee in that kind of 6-7 minute being the target, but 6 to 8 minutes being allowable, I think you're gonna come away with a good roast on it. So, Catherine, what is our kind of go through our profile? I mean, you do this every single week at Current Crop, or many times a week at Current Crop doing classes. So, walk us through briefly that profile that we use on the fresh roast.
Sure. So all the coffee beans that we use are dense and heavy, so the fan always starts off at 9. And because we use an extension tube, the power setting in the middle starts off at 5, and that setting doesn't change. So a benefit of the extension tube is that the fan is really going to control the fan speed and the power on its own. So our panel reads 9, 5, 12. So once we get started, we wait 2 full minutes until that timer gets to 10. And then we toggle over to the fan setting and lower it to 8. That's going to slowly increase the temperature. So about every minute after that, we lower the fan by 1 until we get the fan down to 4. Right when you make that last adjustment, the fan down to 4, you're right on the verge of the first crack. So you don't have to make any other adjustments. So that we use this guide and tried to make it something where no matter which roast level that you're going to use, you can use the same guide. The only decision you have to make is when to drop the beans, when to cool them down when you get to your desired roast level. We tried to start off a little bit different when we did lighter roast, but it got a little bit too complicated, especially for people who had never roasted before, to have a couple of different guides to look at. So we condensed, and we used the same guide that Stephen and I have used for years, and it works.
Yeah, and we've tweaked it a little bit, and actually, I want to plug this. If you visit our YouTube page, we actually have a 40, maybe 30-minute video for all of the roasters that we sell, except the bullet. We don't have the bullet. We need to do a bullet version.
We should.
We should.
Yeah.
Okay, next on the docket. It just became top of my to-do list.
Right.
But you can go to our YouTube channel, and I will put a link to that in the show notes. But you can go to our YouTube, and we have a roast-along video for each of the roasters, including the fresh roast with and without the extension tube.
Yeah.
So if you're, if you want to kind of recalibrate, if you've already got that machine, you want to kind of recalibrate how you do it, see another way, or if you're just about to get one or just got one and you don't want to waste any coffee, you want to get good coffee out of the gate,
Right.
you can watch our roast along video that we made for each of these, and I'll put a link to that in the show notes below.
Yeah.
Well, Robert and Joe, I hope these answers were helpful to you. Catherine, is it possible we left something out?
Of course. Yes.
Yeah, I think almost certainly. And so if you have a different perspective, dear listener, and you think we dropped the ball or we missed something or we said something wrong, please don't bottle it up. Don't bottle it up and be an angry person. Let it out in the comment section and let us know exactly what we said wrong, exactly how we could have done it better, and we'll all be better for it. We need that kind of stuff shared around. This community, the home coffee roasting community, is really fascinating because of how much gets shared person to person, and how much experience people have been roasting coffee for 30 years, long before it was cool.
Right.
And they have so much to share. So please share that with us, and we'd love to hear your comments. We want Roast It Yourself to grow, and the way that happens on internet land is people comment. They share it with other friends. They put it on Facebook in home roasting groups. They like it and all that kind of stuff. So do all those things, subscribe, and help us get this thing really growing well. So remember, if you have any questions, when you get them, send them about coffee roasting, coffee in particular. Send them to questions@riypod.com, so you'll get a nice shout out from us and your question answered. Other than that, y'all have a wonderful day. Happy roasting.
Happy roasting.